Okay, if I could have your attention, please. All right. Thank you. My name is Brian Matthews. I am the Bram Stoker Award Show Coordinator. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a good StokerCon this year.
We are here in Connecticut. This is a state that is near and dear to me. Connecticut Yankee, born and bred. I lived here for the first 2 decades of my life. All of my family live within 2 miles of the house we grew up in. I love this state. I am nuts about the Nutmeg State, except for that nickname. Who knew New Hampshire was going to be the metal state? I grew up in Connecticut, and we always thought of New Hampshire as like a lot of trees and old people that thought that talking was for flatlanders from Massachusetts. Live free! Oh my God, work is driving me crazy. The kids are driving me mad. Honey, let's just go to Bangor for the weekend, relax beside the Penobscot. I'll just detox and feel better. It could happen, but not. I love coming back to Connecticut. My father picks me up at the airport and does the proud New England tradition of telling me what things used to be. See everyone from New England like, yes, this is what we do. We'll be driving down and he'll be like, oh, that McDonald's used to be a bank. And before that, it was a pharmacy. Before that, it was a hardware store. Before that, it was a feed store. Before that, I think it was a meadow. And before that, it was the place we put the British when the lobsterbacks came for us. Connecticut doesn't have a football team or a baseball team, and we don't care because, we talk about the Revolutionary War the way other people talk about their favorite sports season. Like, oh, the 96 Yankees, the 76 Steelers, and we're like, in 77, we gave Cornwallis what for? It's good to be from Connecticut. Oh, Brian took all my stuff here. Oh. So I'm a big fan of being from Connecticut. I'm glad to be back here. I'm glad that we are all here. I would like to welcome everyone who is watching on YouTube. If you are watching, welcome everyone. As always, if you are watching on YouTube, please smash that like button and subscribe. Here at the Bram Stoker channel, we upload new content once a year, so we really need you to do it. This is your only chance. Please help us out. I also want to do something that I do quite a bit when I'm up here because, first of all, it's amazing. We are here with some of the best horror writers in the world, and we're here to celebrate excellence within our genre, which I love. If you are nominated tonight, you are one of 5 people that your peers have said your work is worthy of elevation, but only the winner gets seen up here. So what I'd like to do is, if you're a nominee, stand up so we can recognize you now. Let's celebrate our nominees. Congratulations, all. I'm sorry if I'm speaking quickly. 1, I'm from Connecticut, and 2, Brian's like, we got to be out of here by 10:15. You got to go. I want to be drinking by 10, and I'm like, you're a writer. Shouldn't you have been drinking from 11 a.m.? This is what we do. So we're living in strange times. I'm not saying that this feels like a community theater cosplay version of The Stand. But the next 2 StokerCons are in Nebraska and Colorado. Read into that as you will. No, I'm just starting. It's a Stephen King joke, people. You're horror writers. Oh, we're going to Nebraska next year. Yes, only if President Flagg has his way. I just flew in from Los Angeles. That's where I live now. I used to be in Connecticut. Yeah, thank you. One other person. Oh, 2. I used to live in Connecticut, and I moved to Los Angeles to experience emotions. It's cool. But if you listen to the national media, it sounds like LA right now is living in Mad Max times, that my wife drove me to the airport spray painting my teeth, being like, I am shiny and chrome, witness me. That is not true. That's what you do anytime you're on the 405. That's just how we drive. Yeah, it's not what they're showing you. But I did have friends say, why are you going to a horror writers convention and having fun in the midst of all this? And I'm like, because I have to. Because horror writers have a job, and our job is to tell people you can fight monsters. It's true. It's okay to be afraid. Sometimes it's fun, not now, but sometimes. But the point of our stories is you don't have to be afraid all the time. You can push back. You can live to see the next dawn and help others do the same. The work that we do is important. The work that we do is valuable. I genuinely believe that. And so I'm happy to come here. And I learned the true meaning of StokerCon by refereeing youth soccer. Just go with me on this because it's brilliant. For those of you who don't have children involved in youth sports, it's a form of organized extortion. The second your kid's like, I want to play, they're like, give us money and all your time. And so my son, whom I love very much, wants to play soccer, so I referee soccer. And I learned to referee. And while I enjoy refereeing for the boys, boys soccer is Mad Max times. It's a bunch of 11-year-olds running around the field. I am shiny and chrome. So I prefer to referee for the girls because they are so supportive. And I learned the value of StokerCon refereeing a girls' soccer match. I am refereeing the match, and 3 times in the first 2 minutes, this team gets scored against. The ball goes in the goal 3 times in the first 2 minutes. And my heart is breaking for this poor young woman who's the goalkeeper. And I go over to get the ball to start the game for the 4th time in 2 minutes. And her coach yells out, "Hey, Sierra, you're doing great." And Sierra goes, "I know." And her friend comes running over and goes, "Yeah, you are." And they high five. And I am gobsmacked. I'm like, I want that. I want the confidence of an 11-year-old girl instead of what I have, which is the confidence of a 14-year-old. Everybody hates my writing. I suck at writing. I'm ugly. I wish I were never born. I hate you. And I run upstairs and slam the door. And my wife is like, telling my kids, Dad's just having a hard time finishing his novel. We just have to give him some space. Oh, no, I'm not. Shut up. I want the confidence of an 11-year-old. I want, when I'm sitting in my office and I get that email that says, "Dear Kevin, thank you for submitting your story. It doesn't meet our purposes at this time. We wish you the best. Placing it somewhere else. Sign, form letter editor." I want, I don't know, Paul Tremblay to stick his head in my office and go, "Kevin, you're doing great." Because then I'd be like, "I know." And then somebody else, I don't know, Joyce Carol Oates comes along and says, "Yeah, you are," and me and Joyce Carol Oates high five. And then I get back to work because I'm doing great. And so, my fellow horror writers, this is the gift I want to give to you tonight, the gift that Sierra and her coach and her unnamed friend gave to me. Horror writers, you're doing great. Thank you. Some of you got it right. I appreciate the applause, but this is what we do from now on. This is how we get through it. What I love about StokerCon is this whole weekend is just people supporting each other. We're not competitors. We're not here to, take each other down. All I saw was people helping and supporting each other and telling each other, "You're doing great." So for the rest of the weekend, for the rest of our lives, if you see someone who's just having, not the greatest writer moment, you tell them, "You're doing great." Maybe you didn't sell the story. Maybe the pitch that you made to an agent didn't go. Maybe you didn't win the award. Doesn't matter. You want to know why? You're doing great. There it is. Yeah. So let's practice this, HWA. You're doing great. Yeah, you are. High five someone next to you. There it is. That's what we're doing here. I have one last favor to ask them tonight. While I'm hosting and I screw up, please don't yell, "You're doing great." See, that was the one you get. We're going to start moving on to our keynoter, but there's one other thing that I've done that I would like to do. If you go to the front of that amazing souvenir book, isn't that a great souvenir book? If you go to the front of it, you'll see a list of friends that we have lost this year who are not in the room with us. And again, I don't want to bring us down. I don't want to make us maudlin, but I do want us to acknowledge that there are a few seats that are empty. So 2 absent friends. With that much in mind, let's turn to our keynoter. I don't know about you, although I suspect you've had the same experience. Librarians have helped us so much. As a young kid, yeah. Unsung heroes, exactly. I don't want to make it about me. I mean, I am an actor, so. But I told you I'm from Connecticut. I grew up in a Norman Rockwell painting called Cheshire. And the Cheshire Public Librarians were amazing to a little kid who's like, where are the ghost books? And were encouraging and supportive, and even were like, just bring your mom in and say that you can take out Stephen King books at age 11. And mom did. The librarians have always been there to support, to guide, and tonight we have an absolutely amazing keynote speaker, HWA's own librarian, Becky Spratford.
I'm shorter than Kevin. So, hi, as Kevin said, my name is Becky Spratford. I've lost my voice a little because we had Librarians Day. I am also the secretary of the Horror Writers Association and the co-chair with Conrad Stump of our Libraries Committee. I have been a librarian for 25 years, which is the entirety of this century. Thankfully, I don't have to do math for that. And I don't think this will shock any of you, but the last 5 years have been some of the most horrific times to be in this profession in the 150 years that there have been American public libraries. So yes, you see where this is going now, right? We're better to talk about the horror that we library workers have been facing than at a celebration of horror writers. I am not trying to bring the mood down, but this is the keynote for our Bram Stoker Awards ceremony, our horror prom. So what I'm trying to do is quite the opposite. I'm taking advantage of my time here in front of a ballroom full of horror professionals, along with everyone watching on YouTube, to enlist every single one of you in the fight to protect the freedom to read for all. Because who is it that's better to talk about the horror of book bans and the terror of suppressing intellectual freedom than those of us for upcoming meetings? Some also live stream them. Even if book bans and or collection policies are not on the agenda, boards and councils will allow comments on issues of concern from any community member. I will be including a link to the information that I'm going to talk about after this right now. That's from United for Book Bans, with the recording of this event on YouTube. So you'll be able to have everything you need, because I'm a librarian and I cite my sources. So you don't have to remember all of this, but know that it will be there on YouTube. And those of you who follow my blog that are librarians will know where to find it. So if there is no dress code, or if there's one, I suggest a bookish t-shirt. This will come, bookish t-shirt, okay? You all have them. You don't need to remember these pointers and questions, though, because I will have resources available, again, for all of you to consult. But I cannot say this enough. We need you. Please, you cannot leave this for someone else. It is you. It is all of you. We need you to be at the meeting speaking as an author, as a community member, and as a supporter of the freedom to read, because you are all of those things. Prepare your comments, but speak from the bottom of your hearts. Go before there are problems if you can. Go multiple times. Here's the thing. You can go every month and make the same statement over and over. So your voice against book banning and for intellectual freedom is in the public record. Everything that happens in the meeting is in the public record. Bring your friends, get them involved. Figure out if you can spread the wealth so one of you goes every month so that every meeting is covered. Do you think this is overkill? I'm going to be really honest with you. I just gave you the playbook for all the nefarious groups have been working together to get books banned. I'm telling you from their exact playbook. They are organizing and having people speaking against intellectual freedom at every board meeting, every time, in most of the towns in America. Now, if your community is already actively trying to ban materials, this is even more dire. But I'm going to be very honest here. Speaking out in a meeting in your community where there's consensus against you is hard, but it can be done. I want to take a moment to ask H to not live in that dystopian reality is to speak up before there are problems. I know we are an international organization and this talk may seem American-centric, but let me say this to all of you in the rest of the world. You need to know two things. One, I know many of you have already dealt with these assaults on intellectual freedom before, but I also know that when you dealt with these, a lot of American writers probably didn't help because we thought we were impervious to censorship. So let me apologize for that behavior right now. And two, I want to ask for your help. We need you to share what you know with us. Let us know, have you fought already, so that we might be able to learn from you. So we are here to celebrate another great year of horror. We will give out awards, we will honor volunteers and present Lifetime Achievement Awards. And while we will all come away with our dark hearts bursting with joy, I also hope you leave raring for a fight. I hope you're ready, as one of my favorite bookish t-shirts says, ban the fascists and save the books. Because who is better than to stop the horrors of censorship than those who spend their days immersing themselves in stories of terror, fear, and unease? Who is better to understand the monsters we are dealing with? And most importantly, who is better prepared to fight it? We are. And your Halloween librarians are all here to help you. We are a quick email away. Dozens of us ready to help stop the bans, the horror of book bans in a free society. Just remember, libraries@horror.org. And if you remember, United for Book Bans, but I will give you the link for all the talking points and tips to get yourself in front of your library board and speak out against horror book bans. Thank you in advance. We can do our best work to protect the intellectual freedom for all, no matter where they live, if we work together, one library board meeting at a time. Thank you.
Thank you again, Becky Spratford. And sorry to give away secrets. She just walked off saying, "I hope we don't get canceled now." And to quote my governor, "Come at us." So we're about to get started to give out some awards, but I would like to say thank you to first to a few people, to our local coordinators, BC Bull, Logan Johnson, and John Opelenick. Thank you for all your work to make this happen. Thank you, of course, to the Board of Trustees and the officers of HWA who put in countless hours of invisible labor to make this happen as well, year-round. And of course, thank you to our horror daddies, James Chambers and Brian Matthews. If you'll forgive me, I just have been really slow with social media content this weekend, so I just need a quick video of all y'all. Hey, look at who I'm hanging with. Thank you. Now my kids will know I have friends. They know I don't. Our first award tonight is for the Bram Stoker Award for Short Nonfiction. Presenting it are Gwendolyn Keist and Cynthia Paleo.
Hi, how are you? The nominees in Superior Achievement in Short Nonfiction have displayed a responsibility to tell the truth and act as guardians and protectors of facts in a world overflowing with too much information, including misinformation. These curators of the horror genre are more important than ever.
These works run the gamut from an exploration of catharsis in 1950s shock cinema to Shirley Jackson's stage adaptations, Disney's Haunted Mansion and the history of Black cinema, to a tyrannical mother in a modern TV drama, demonstrating the breadth and depth of the horror genre. The nominees for Superior Achievement in Short Nonfiction are Michael Arnson, Screamin' in the Rain, The Orchestration of Catharsis, and William Castle's The Tingler, What Sleeps Beneath.
Vince Laguno, The Horror of Donna Berzato and Her Feast of the Seven Fishes, You're Not Alone in the Dark, Cemetery Dance Publications.
Jeffrey Andrew Weinstock, Hidden Histories, The Many Ghosts of Disney's Haunted Mansion, Disney Gothic, Dark Shadows in the House of Mouse, Roman and Littlefield Publishing Group.
Kevin J. Wetmore Jr., Jackson, and Haunting of the Stage, Journal of Shirley Jackson Studies, Volume 2, Number 1, Shirley Jackson Society.
Lisa Wood, Blacks in Film and Cultivated Bias, No More Haunted Dolls, Horror Fiction that Transcends the Tropes, Vernon Press.
And the Bram Stoker Award in Short Nonfiction goes to Lisa Wood, Blacks in Film and Cultivated Bias, No More Haunted Dolls, Horror Fiction that Transcends the Tropes, Vernon Press.
Let her have that.
Taking my 2 minutes to walk through the podium. Wow. Oh my gosh. I will not stand up here for long. I will not take all day, I promise. I just want to say, it is so amazing to be standing here. It's amazing to feel recognized. It's hard to explain how important this moment is, especially when you write because you write, right? You talk about the things that are important to you and you hope that they resonate. To find that they resonate with enough of you that I can actually bring this back to my table after so many years of writing, it means the world. So thank you for reading. Thank you for being interested in what I have to say. Oh my God.
I have been asked by my boss to ask you to just applaud at the end of all the nominees. Otherwise, we're going to keep Brian from the bar. And in all seriousness, if you could hold your applause until all the nominees have been read, it would be appreciated. Up next is the award for graphic novel being presented by Scott Edelman and Clay McLeod Chapman.
This particular category is very important to me, and not just because I love comic books, because I remember many decades ago, back in the 70s and 80s, when I attempted to join professional writing organizations as a comic book writer and was told, well, that's not really sufficient writing credits to join a writers organization. So to see all these decades later, not only that you are all recognizing comic books, but you're recognizing such wonderful comic books as these nominees brings me great joy and gratitude, and thanks for recognizing this particular category among horror writers.
And the nominees for superior achievement in a graphic novel are Robin Ha, The Fox Maidens, Beth Hetland, Tender, Patrick Horvath, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Gao Tanabe, H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu, and Maggie Umber, Chrysanthemum Under the Waves.
And the winner for superior achievement in a graphic novel is Gao Tanabe, writer-artist of H.P. Lovecraft's Call of the Cthulhu Dark Horse books. Gao Tanabe couldn't be here tonight, and the HWA accepts this award on his behalf.
Now, coming to the stage to present the award for the poetry collection, I give you the goddess of the HWA, Linda Addison, and the other goddess, Genevieve Flynn.
Dear Lord.
It's an incredible honor to be up here. One, because I'm standing next to Linda D. Addison, and two, because I get to celebrate the nominees and the winner for the superior achievement in poetry. A friend once said, poets say what others can't, and it seems like now it's more important than ever.
Yes. Keep it short, keep it clear.
Am I ready?
Yes.
Okay. The nominees for superior achievement in a poetry collection are Jamal Hodge, The Dark Between the Twilight, Crystal Lake Publishing, Pedro Iniguez, Mexicans on the Moon, Speculative Poetry from a Possible Future, Space Cowboy Books, Lee Murray, Fox Spirit on a Distant Cloud, The Cuba Press, Simcoe Solson, Melancholia, A Book of Dark Poetry, Bludgeoned Girls Press, L. Marie Wood, Imitation of Life, Falstaff Books.
And the recipient for the Superior Achievement in a Poetry Collection is Pedro Hernandez. Mexicans on the Moon, Speculative Poetry from a Possible Future, Space Cowboy Books.
I really didn't think I was going to win, so I'm really surprised. But I will make this short. I have a few thank yous and a message. First, I want to congratulate the rest of my fellow nominees. Most of you might not know this, but this is the first time all people of color have been nominees in a category. So this is a pretty historic moment for all of us, and I love you all, and I'm very proud of you all. I want to thank my publisher, Space Cowboy Books, for giving me the opportunity and believing in me. And I want to thank a few people before I leave you with a message. I want to thank my partner, Chloe, for always being with me and supporting me. And I want to thank my publisher, Jean-Paul Garnier, for believing in me. And there's a few people I want to thank especially. They were like guardian angels. They were people who worked behind the scenes to help me and support me and give me words of wisdom and encouragement. Some of them are Cynthia Pelayo, Gabina Iglesias, and my friend Francis Pai. And I want to thank the whole horror community for helping me, believing me, spreading the word, reading my books, and just being very kind people. I believe the horror community is one of the nicest communities that you can find. And I want to leave you with a message. I wrote Mexicans on the Moon because I grew up reading science fiction, and I didn't see a lot of people that looked like me or had names like me in the movies or books. And so I wanted to write about far-flung futures where people like me existed. So one of the notes that I wrote in my introduction is write yourself into the futures you want before you're left out of them by someone else. So I will leave you with that. Thank you.
Next to present the Specialty Press Award is fiction writer, scholar, and co-chair of the Anne Radcliffe Academic Conference, Dr. Rhonda Joseph Jackson.
Hey, y'all. I am so honored to present this award. Publishers play such an integral part in our worlds. They often have to play different roles. They are our advocates. They are taking punches for us. And so it is really exciting that the HWA has a specialty award. So this Specialty Press Award is presented periodically to a specialty publisher whose work has substantially contributed to the horror genre, whose publications display general excellence, and whose dealings with authors have been fair and exemplary. We are going to welcome to the stage Nicole Givens-Kurtz from Mocha Memoirs Press.
All right. Good evening. First, I want to say thank you to the Horror Writers Association, trustee and the board, for this award and recognition. For 15 years, Mocha Memoirs Press we have been amplifying marginalized voices and speculative fiction. But I do admit to a bias for horror. In recent years, the publishing landscape has inched toward greater inclusion and greater diversity. But we've also recently noticed in the last couple of years that they have inched backward as well. In the chasm that remains, small presses thrive. This is where we do our work. Small presses, independent presses. The stories we publish not only provide unique and fresh lore to our genre, they also showcase the talent that exists in our communities. Mocha couldn't do this work without authors who trust us with their hard labor. So I want to shout out those authors who were with us from the beginning and who continue to demonstrate a support for our press, such as Samiko Salson, L. Marie Wood, Mark Abbott, Ree Sheridan, Maya Pressler, and Stephen Ben Patton, and so many more. Our publishing house is primarily women and non-binary individuals. Our only male is my husband, and he just does the website. Support diverse voices, particularly during this time when so much funding is being cut to programs that promote that. Read diversely, read widely. Thank you again to the Horror Writers Association. Mocha Memoirs will continue to deliver bold, fearless fiction into the future. Thank you.
Coming now to the stage to present the Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in Long Nonfiction are Lisa Kroger and Christy Park-Kulski.
I am absolutely so honored to present in this category. I know the immense amount of research and fact checking that goes into putting these books together, and it is enormous. So I want to recognize all the nominees and your hard work in this category. The nominees for Superior Achievement in Long Nonfiction are
Anna Bogoskaya, Feeding the Monster, Why Horror Has a Hold on Us, Faber and Faber.
Don't make me get on to you. Jeremy Dauber, American Scary, A History of Horror, From Salem to Stephen King and Beyond, Algonquin Books of Chapel Hill.
Heidi Honeycutt, I Spit on Your Celluloid, The History of Women Directing Horror Movies, Head Press.
Emily C. Hughes, Horror for Weenies. Everything you need to know about the films you're too scared to watch, Quirk Books.
Cassandra O'Sullivan Satcher, editor, No More Haunted Dolls, horror fiction that transcends the tropes, Vernon Press.
And the Bram Stoker Award goes to Emily C. Hughes. Horror for Weenies. Everything you need to know about the films you are too scared to watch.
Hi, where's Becky? Becky, can you text my mom? Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you to my incredible editor and friend, Jess Zimmerman. Every writer should be so lucky to work with someone so absurdly talented. Thank you to my wonderful agent, Dongwon Song. And thank you to the whole publishing team at Quirk, especially Gabby and Scott. And solidarity with the employees of Quirk who are in the process of unionizing. Find out more on their Instagram at Quirk Books Union. Thank you to my unbelievably talented fellow nominees, Anna, Jeremy, Heidi, and Cassandra. Please go buy their books. And thank you to the Horror Writers Association and everyone who bought, read, reviewed, or recommended Horror for Weenies. Thank you to my supportive, inspiring husband, Liam, to my wonderful mom, dad, and brother, to my Nightfire Coven, my Real Deal, my Nightmare Crew, and every other group chat with a weird name. Thank you, Becky Spratford, Rachel Harrison, Clay McLeod Chapman, Aaron Adams, Gretchen Felker Martin, Matt Lyons, Nat Cassidy, Neil McRobert, Stephanie Gagne, Anna Dupree, and so many more. Thank you to Toby Hooper and Steven Spielberg for making Poltergeist, which traumatized me at age 10 and became the perfect opening anecdote for a book for scaredy cats 25 years later. A special thank you to the person online who left a bad review of the book and said, it's almost like it was written for people who have never seen famous horror movies. You're my favorite, man. I'll leave you with this. The world is scary, and it's getting scarier every day. Every snippet of news I've caught this weekend has felt uncannily like a TV news report in the background of the first 10 minutes of a movie about the end of the world. But at the same time, I've had an incredible weekend. Those two feelings, they feel incompatible, but they're not. They can't be. When the world is on fire, joy is not just important, joy is imperative. And this community, this stone cold pack of weirdos, we know how to do something amazing. We know how to find the joy in fear. All power to the protesters in LA and across the country. Protect trans people, fuck ICE, and free Palestine. Thank you, Wheaties forever!
Now to present the Mentor of the Year award is J.G. Faraday.
It is my pleasure to honor Gretchen McNeil as our Mentor of the Year this year. Gretchen makes her living scaring your children. She writes young adult and middle grade horror, and she's been killing it ever since 2011. Besides conjuring up stories about serial killers, vigilantes, doppelgangers, and cannibals, she's also a trained opera singer, a former circus performer, and a voiceover artist. She's also a scriptwriter. And more importantly, she is someone who gives back to our horror writing community. She's been a mentor for the HWA for many years, and for several of those years, she's been our only YA mentor. We now have 2, so we're doubling our workload there. She's never missed a semester, which is one of the reasons that she's getting this award. The other is that every semester, her mentees just tell me how much they love her. Her mentees have consistently praised her, not only for her knowledge, but her enthusiasm and for helping fledgling writers improve their craft. It's with great pleasure that I accept this award for Mentor of the Year on Gretchen's behalf because she couldn't be here. I know she would be thrilled to be up here and accept it because she loves the program so much. Gretchen, thank you for everything you've done. I hope you're watching.
Now, to present the Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in YA Novel, Maria Alexander and Robert P. Otone.
Kevin, you left your badge up here.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Maria, what was the scariest book you read as a teen?
Dracula, definitely. You?
For me, it had to have been, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret."
You were scared?
You know, vibes. As a teacher, I know firsthand that kids have a lot of fear, whether it's finals, bullying.
Or a slasher in the neighborhood.
Kids are hungry for catharsis.
And so tonight we are honoring novels of superior achievement in young adult horror.
And the nominees for superior achievement in young adult horror are
Adam Cesar, Clown in a Cornfield 3, The Church of Friendo, HarperCollins Children's Books.
Anne Freistad, A Place for Vanishing, Delacorte Press.
Natalie C. Parker, Come Out, G.P. Putnam Sons.
Laura Senf, The Losting Fountain, Union Square and Company.
And Joelle Wellington, The Blonde Dies First. Simon and Schuster.
And the Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in a Young Adult Novel goes to
Adam Cesar, Clown in a Cornfield 3, The Church of Friendo, HarperCollins Children's Books.
Let's get these out of here, right?
I had a tequila and I didn't prepare a speech. Just thank you so much to everyone who's read these books, anyone who's recommended them, anyone who's given them to a young person in your life. I mean, I'm watching Becky's keynote speech and thinking about the librarians I know and how honored I feel. I'm an ex-teacher to get to still work with young people in a weird way, and yeah, just very honored by this. I want to thank my agent Alex Shane. My beautiful wife, my beautiful daughter, David Linker at HarperCollins, Pete at Chapel Hill, and then that's it. I think. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I'm just really love getting to do this, and I'm so honored to be along with these other nominees. So thank you so much. Thanks.
To present the Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in a Middle Grade Novel, welcome back to the stage Becky Spratford and HWA former Vice President Megan Arcuri.
We only started this award a couple of years ago, and I think it probably took us too long to do it because we don't get the YA readers or the adult readers unless we start with the children, the 9 to 12-year-olds who are, these authors are writing to, are our future readers and writers. So we're very honored tonight to give out the to announce the nominees for Superior Achievement in a Middle Grade Novel. They are Mary Averling, The Curse of Eelgrass Bog Razorbill.
Michael Brent Collings, The Witch in the Woods, Shadow Mountain Publishing.
Adriana Cuevas, The No-Brainer's Guide to Decomposition, HarperCollins Children's Books.
Robert P. Otone, There's Something Sinister in Center Field, Cemetery Gates Media.
She has it. Eden Royce, The Creepening of Dogwood House, Walden Pond Press, an imprint of HarperCollins.
Do you want to read it or you want me
No,
to?
you're reading it.
Okay. All right.
I have to say this.
I will. And the award goes to,
oh my gosh,
we have a tie. Eden Royce, The Creepening of Dogwood House, and Robert P. Otone, There's something sinister in center field.
Are they both here? No, no, Eden. He has a speech for Eden. Well, Adam didn't take this. I'll give it to him. Where'd he go?
I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's crying. He always cries. Let's move this side. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I actually wrote things this time. I want to thank my wife for being here. I want to thank my mom for being here. I want to thank Eden Royce. I want to thank all my people that are in the category. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
You're doing a good job. You're good.
I'm trying to be fast, I promise. No, he didn't. He really didn't. I want to thank Joe at Cemetery Gates. This started in the DMs on Twitter before it was bought by an asshole with hair plugs. That's where this book came from. We talked about the 98 Yankees. I'm sorry. I want to thank my nominees again. I want to thank the HWA for all the support. You're all so good to me. I'm sorry, I'm crying. I'm thinking about my students a lot. I don't have kids of my own, but I have like 125 students. One of them was really upset that I took a day off yesterday. And we live in like really scary times for them. And I think about these kids all the time. And I really just hope that like everybody here would protect LGBTQIA kids. And the children of kids who come here with parents who just want a better life for them. That's all I'm asking for. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Do not apologize to me.
Thank you. Oh.
Don't forget
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
Don't.
Oh. This is for Dad.
Quite obviously, I am not Eden. All right. She couldn't be here tonight, so she sent a little bit to read. I'll make this quick. Thank you very much. I am sorry I can't be with you all tonight to accept this phenomenal award, but I can send you my thanks, and here it goes. Thank you for selecting The Creeping of Dogwood House as this year's co-winner. She didn't know that time. In the middle grade category, thank you to the Horror Writers Association for their unceasing efforts in recognizing and promoting the importance of horror and dark fiction in the literary and speculative space. My sincerest appreciation to everyone who read, loved, and voted for The Creepening to receive this honor. I am so grateful to be championing horror for kids. When speaking to the powers that be in this industry about this book, publishers, editors, and publicists, I've been told not to use the word horror when talking about The Creepening. They said use spooky or eerie or perhaps unsurprisingly creepy, as those words aren't likely to scare people. With what is happening in the world, many of us are scared. Whether we call it worry or anxiety, it comes from fear, being scared of what might happen. Fear is the universal emotion, visceral and deeply embedded, and usually it can cause two reactions. We freeze or we act. Allowing kids to see characters like Roddy in the Creepening, take action by facing their fears lets them know they can do the same. We have the responsibility to teach our kids history, our struggles for justice and freedom, and family and safety. The ones we've won and the ones we've lost so that we can do better next time. Middle grade horror shows that kids have power, inner strength, and a voice to stand against whatever comes their way. We do, and so do we. Thank you.
You're doing great. I know. Keeping it going, coming to the stage to present the Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in First Novel are Krista Carmen and Tom Deedy.
It's an honor to be here presenting the award for superior achievement in a first novel, and an honor to be presenting with you, Tom. When we took into account what to say up here, I did not anticipate having to not be teary-eyed from the last speech, but ultimately, Tom and I had decided to forego witty banter so that we could get right to the nominees. The nominees for superior achievement in a first novel are Danye Coles, Midnight Rooms, Amistad.
Jessica Drake Thomas, Hollow Girls, Cemetery Dance Publications.
Jenny Kiefer, This Wretched Valley, Quirk Books.
Monica Kim, The Eyes Are the Best Part, Airworn Books.
Lindy Ryan, Bless Your Heart, Minotaur Books.
You can do the award.
And the Bram Stoker Award goes to Monica Kim, The Eyes Are the Best Part, Erewhon Books.
Erewhon Books and our UK colleagues at Brazen Books across the pond. Monica asked me to share these words. Though I can't be with you all in person tonight, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for this incredible honor. Receiving the Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in a first novel means more than I can fully express, especially coming from a community of writers, readers, and storytellers I deeply respect. Writing is often a solitary act, and it's times like these that remind me that stories can be bridges, connecting us across time, place, and experience. Thank you to the Horror Writers Association and to my editors who took a chance on my weird, creepy little book and helped make it better than I could have ever imagined. Thank you to all of my family, friends, and loved ones who supported me throughout the process. And most of all, thank you to the readers who found meaning in my words. For that, I am eternally grateful. I promise your eyes are safe with me. Thank you so much, everyone.
Here to present the Karen Lansdale Silver Hammer Award is HWA past president Lisa Morton.
Good evening. You know, back in those halcyon days of yore, 10 years ago, in other words, a group of us were trying to assemble all of the components of this thing now known as StokerCon. And one of the things that we were talking about was what we could do to involve Hollywood, because so much of the horror genre owes something to its cinematic side, and we wanted to recognize that. One of the ideas that was floated was a short horror film competition, because our first StokerCon was held in Las Vegas. The name Lucky 13 came up, with the idea being that there would be 13 films that would each run under 13 minutes. Well, great, except that none of us had the time or the experience to put together a film festival. It is a unique, labor-intensive undertaking. And then, fortunately, some guy named Jonathan Lees So this guy raised his hand and said, I'll do it. And at the time, I didn't really know Jonathan, but when you are the HWA president and someone says, I'll do it, you say yes. Fortunately, Jonathan way outlived any possible expectations. He didn't just put that film competition idea into action. He recreated the whole thing from scratch, renaming it Final Frame. He crafted rules and processes. He rounded up judges. And of course, he watched films, lots of films. By this point, Jonathan has personally screened well over 8,000 films. By the way, when I asked him to confirm that, he said it was probably way low. In the process, he has gifted HWA and StokerCon with not just one of the convention's most popular events, but with a film festival that has gained international renown. He has also become a good friend. And by the way, he's a very fine writer. I am so proud and so grateful to him for what he has created in StokerCon's Final Frame short horror film competition. With that, please join me in saying thank you and congratulations to the winner of the 2024 Karen Lansdale Silver Hammer Award, Jonathan Lees.
You all know better than to give me a hammer, right? My brain is a little suspect right now, so I wrote everything down, but this is fantastic. Thank you all. I see so many like friendly faces that have come up to me over the years and said how much they enjoyed the program, how much they appreciated meeting the filmmakers and all the judges that have come through. It's been an honor, and I'm gonna keep this under 5 minutes, but this summer marks my 25th year working with independent filmmakers from Anthology Film Archives, New York Underground, Trauma, Tribeca, Good Machine, and now the Final Frame Horror Short Film Competition at StokerCon, which I'm proud to be a part of. The work I get to do here became my favorite work of all, an opportunity to entertain the entertainers. And I continue to hunt. Let me tell you a little bit about the hunt. My mother's here. She should know about the hunt. Hi, Mom. My husband's here. He should know about the hunt. Wink. My mother showed me Psycho at a really young age. I probably damaged the bathroom floor from how many times I kept the shower curtain open. She also showed us one of the most transgressive films of all time, one that she had to throw the towel over the TV set to ensure that I didn't see what was happening. It's a disturbing film, Flashdance. I still know the choreography. But it was those moments, like when she told me I couldn't watch David Lynch's Blue Velvet. It's the only film she pre-screened and said, I don't think so, Jonathan. 1987, I don't remember. Anyways, it was that hunt, is that desire to see things that were forbidden or lost or no one knew about. And I still continue to do that to this day. There are so many talented people out there that are struggling to get their works made, and it's my responsibility to watch all of them, give them the respect they deserve, and pick the ones not that are the best, only the best, but the ones that I think will provide a unique experience for everyone who takes a break, crawls into the dark with me, and enjoys the program. I have a lot of people to thank, and thank you so much for this hammer. Oh God. I'll never forget when James Chambers and Dan Brom brought me into my first convention, introduced me to all the strange folk that would become my friends and collaborators. Thank you to everyone I got to listen to over the years, either behind the scenes or at the events, the ones that took the time to listen to me and understood and offered their time and their advice for the work I do here. Lisa Morton, Brian Matthews, and Sue, I love you. Max Gold, Rena Mason, Megan Arcuri, Becky Spratford, Linda Addison, Ellen Dallauer, just a few that have been by my side and so supportive the entire time. To all the con co-chairs, you do the work and it's not easy. All the HWA presidents that have been there and guided us through some difficult times. I've really had the best 10 years and hopefully many more. Thanks to the great Karen Lansdale, who's instrumental in making all of this possible. We wouldn't be here without her. And thank you for this. Don't make me mad tonight, no. Thank you for this. Thank you for recognizing the hard work that it takes to put this on. And while you're running around this weekend, don't forget to hug a volunteer. They are the lifeblood of this event and organization. Just don't touch me, though. Okay, good. We're good. All right, so I have the supreme pleasure staying up here and breaking down who won Final Frame for our 10th annual horror short film competition. Big thanks to our judges this year who came out: Aaron Dries, Craig Engler, Lisa Wood, Jamal Hodge, Jamie Flanagan, and of course, Lisa Morton, who's been my longest running judge, friend and confidant. Thank you. All right, I hope you all had fun last night. Best writing in a short film goes to writer and director Stephanie Paris for Speak with the Dead. The judges were so torn, we're given a second runner-up as we go to the grand prize, and that goes to writer Brady Richards, directors Rebecca Doherty and Anthony Cousins for The Last Thing She Saw, and oh my God, that was a doozy. First runner-up, Ifke von Berklayer for Izzy. Spectacular work, Izzy. All right, then we got a double. The audience decided for the audience award, and the judges decided for the grand prize. Will go to writers Ethan Evans and Jess Bartlett, director Ethan Evans for Outside Noise. Competitions are really difficult for me to get through because everyone that was a finalist this year deserves applause. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Coming to the stage next to present the Bram Stoker Award for Outstanding Achievement in a Screenplay are Adam Neville and Jamie Flanagan.
Would you like to begin? Or would you like me to?
You go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so we are here for nominees for screenplay. The screenplay category is easily one of the most visible. It's the work that most of us get out there and see, that our families see, even people that don't necessarily read, go out and see the films, right? The film adaptations. All of these nominees share one thing in common in their lack of visibility in the room.
Do you want me to,
Go
start
for it,
now?
yeah.
Sorry. So the nominees for superior achievement in a screenplay are Scott Beck and Brian Woods for Heretic, A24 Shiny Penny, Beck Woods.
Also, Robert Eggers, Nosferatu, Focus Features, Maiden Voyage Pictures, Studio 8.
Coralie
Farja.
Thank you. The Substance, working title film, good story, Blacksmith.
It's probably Farge. I probably got that wrong. Osgood Perkins, Longlegs, C2 Motion Picture Group, Creature Features, Oddfellow Entertainment.
Oh, another surname. Here we
Oh,
go.
this is Jane Schoenbrunn.
I saw the TV Glow, A24, Fruit Trees, Smudge Films. All good films. Do you want me to open it and you read it?
Sure. Yeah, okay. And the Bram Stoker Award goes to Coralie Farge, The Substance, working title film, good story, Blacksmith. Coralie couldn't be here tonight. The HWA accepts this award on her behalf. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Here to present the Bram Stoker Award for Outstanding Achievement in Short Fiction are Cindy O'Quinn and Tim Wagoner.
Very honored to be here to present the award for short fiction, because in a lot of ways short fiction is like the front lines, because people who won't read books, people who won't read novellas, people who don't think they have the time to read will read short fiction. So with that said, here are the nominees for superior achievement in short fiction are
Laird Barron versus from Long Division, Stories of Social Decay, Societal Collapse, and Bad Manners, Bad Handbooks.
Rachel Bolton, and She Had Been So Reasonable, Apex Magazine, issue 147, Apex Book Company.
Sasha Brown, To the Wolves, Weird Horror number 9, Undertow Publications.
R.A. Busby, 10,000 Crawling Children, Nightmare Magazine, November 2024, Adamant Press.
Raven Jakuboski, She Sheds Her Skin, Nightmare Magazine, November 2024, Adamant Press.
All right. How do you open these things? All right. Once I get it open, we'll know. And the Stoker goes to?
The Stoker goes to Laird Barron versus Long Division, Stories of Social Decay, Societal Collapse, and Bad Manners, Bad Handbooks.
Laird, you did it, man.
Thank you to Doug Morano and Michael Bailey for publishing this story, and to the voters who saw fit to bestow this honor. Congratulations to the other nominees. Sorry I can't be there in person. I hope you're all having a hell of a good time. Laird. Thanks, everybody.
Getting a lot of papers piling up here. Here to present the Bram Stoker Award for Outstanding Achievement in a Fiction Collection, our guest of honor, Gaby Triana and Ben Rubin.
So, good evening, night creatures and literary ghouls. I am Ben Rubin, the HWA archivist.
Y yo soy Gaby Triana, actriz, directora y Tiki Goddess.
I didn't know that you were a Cuban actress and director. And why are you speaking in that voice?
It's called acting, Ben.
Well, it's an interesting dress you have on there. Is it vintage?
Así es, muy vintage.
Christian Dior, Coco Chanel.
Oh, Joanne Fabrics.
Oh, so it is vintage. And I see it's got monsters.
Sí, el único vestido que vas a ver con Godzilla y el Hillman.
I'm sorry, I don't quite. Hillman?
Hillman.
Like my library?
No, Hillman.
Oh, the Gill Man.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, everything's better with monsters. Anyway, we are here tonight to present the Bram Stoker Award for Best Fiction Collection. Collections are a grand showcase highlighting an author's career.
A great fiction collection is like an assortment of decadent horror bonbons right before bedtime.
They can also be a homecoming, a way for your stories that have gone scattered to the winds in various publications to finally come back under one cover.
Nice. And here are the nominees.
Laird Barron, Not a Speck of Light, Bad Hand Books.
Mariana Enriquez, A Sunny Place for Shady People, Penguin.
Angela Sylvain, The Dead Spot, Stories of Lost Girls, Dark Matter, Inc.
Tim Wagoner, Old Monsters Never Die, Winding Road Stories.
Mercedes M. Yardley, Love is a Crematorium and Other Tales, Cemetery Dance.
And the Bram Stoker Award goes to Mercedes M. Yardley, Love is a Crematorium and Other Tales, Cemetery Dance.
Was my protest. This is against all the unfairness that we are seeing. Protect each other, love each other, protect our kids, protect our books. Thank you.
Here to present the Bram Stoker Award for Outstanding Achievement in an Anthology, Paula Garan and Eric Gennard. Nope, sorry. Oh, right. Brian Chambers. Brian Chambers.
First of all, Kevin Wetmore, Becky Stratford, go ASO Soccer. ASO Soccer. I get the same sense every time I'm around the girls' teams. There's so much positivity. And Brian.
Yes.
I had like 30, 40 minutes of patter all planned. I did not get the memo that I had to shorten it down to a mere 2 minutes. It is an impossibility.
You bastard.
I know. I'm going to have to scrap it all in that event. So with that being said, I am absolutely thrilled to present the category of anthologies. I am a lover of anthologies. I grew up on anthologies. Anthologies are incredibly important because they broaden literary horizons, expose readers to diverse styles and perspectives, and help preserve and promote literary works. And in other words, they are a gateway for authors, to find new authors, new voices, new styles. It's an incredible opportunity to get a lot of work out and to be able to broaden our reading tastes.
I'm just here to make Eric look better.
Thank you for doing it too.
You ready?
All right.
We're right here. I put that on my home computer and I printed it out.
You want to be one by one? Or?
You start. Okay, well, the nominees for Superior Achievement in an Anthology are Eric.
Sophia Ajram for Bury Your Gaze, an anthology of tragic queer horror from Ghoulish Books.
Rob Costello, We Mostly Come Out at Night. 15 queer tales of monsters, angels, and other creatures. Running Press.
Carol Geisander and Anna Taborska, Discontinue If Death Ensues. Tales from the Tipping Point. Flame Tree Press.
Douglas Morano and Michael Bailey, Long Division, Stories of Social Decay and Societal Collapse and Bad Manners, Bad Hand Books.
And Lindy Ryan for Mother Knows Best, Tales of Homemade Horror, a Women in Horror anthology published by Black Spot Books.
And the Bram Stoker Award goes to, I already know, Carol Geisander and Anna Taborski. Discontinue If Death Ensues. Tales from the Tipping Point. Flame Tree Press.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I first of all want to thank all of the nominees for bringing out anthologies that pretty much all had to do with social issues and using horror as a way to examine it. Thank you. I think that's one of the most important things we can do with horror. Thanks to all of you, from me and my Sisters of Foreboding in this anthology of stabby feminist horror, Lee Murray, Cindy O'Quinn, Kyla Lee Ward, and my co-editor, Anna Taborska. We made HWA history as the first all-women nominee group 3 years ago, and now we are here. Thanks to my family for their support, my husband, Bob, and my kids, Carson, Sarah, Rowan, and JD. Special thanks to my evil twin and writing partner, Teal James Glenn, who gives me heart. And our gratitude especially to Nick Wells of Flame Tree Press, who said that our stabby feminist horror words needed to be in the world, and to his entire staff for supporting us. And thanks to all of you for voting. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danelle Olson. Anna of London could not be here. She sends her regrets, but it's only 3 a.m. in the UK, and she is watching. So if you're in view, say hiya, Anna. Her comments, dear friends and fellow HWA members, I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight. I am very lucky to have you, my horror family, and to receive this incredible honor with my co-editor, Carol Geisander. And on behalf of our fellow writers, Cindy O'Quinn, Lee Murray, and Kyla Lee Ward, it is like a ray of light in the darkness that seems to be encroaching on this world. I would like to thank Cindy, Lee, Kyla, and Carol for their powerful stories and for all of the hard work they put into Discontinue if death ensues. I would like to thank everyone who supported us and who took time to read our book and vote for it. I know the decision was a difficult one, as there were so many excellent submissions in the anthology category, not least the superb books of our fellow nominees. Thank you to Nick Wells, Jillian Whitaker, and all the other fabulous people at Flame Tree Press for doing such a beautiful job of publishing our work. Thank you to my late mom and dad for always supporting my creative endeavors. Thank you to the HWA for the kindness you've shown me. Many of you, too many to name here, have encouraged and supported me ever since I first mustered the courage to allow my stories to emerge into the light of day. Thank you to Danelle Olson, that's me, for speaking to me, for speaking for me to all of you today. Finally, thank you to all of you who made the world a better place through your writing, editing, and publishing, through your support of authors, and through all your kindnesses and compassion to others.
Here to present the first Lifetime Achievement Award is Lisa Morton.
I want to start this off by asking everybody here to make a little noise if you ever visited Dark Delicacies in person or online. Now, I am willing to bet that I am not the only person in this crowd tonight whose life was also impacted by Dark Delicacies in a very positive way. Sue and Dell Howison are receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award tonight, not because for 30 years they had the greatest horror store in the world. They are getting the highest acknowledgement because of all the lives they changed. I mean, no, they certainly changed mine. Now, granted, I have an unfair advantage in that because I have known Dell and Sue for even longer than 30 years. I know I don't look that old. I knew them before they opened the store, when they were two horror fans who would buy books from the store that I was working at. Now, about the third time that they walked out with a box of great horror, I knew these people were my kin. I was there when they gave up their jobs to make that great leap into opening their own store. I was there when they tied the knot. I was there when they took the store online. I was there whenever they moved again, and I was there when they closed a few months ago. But Dark Delicacies was always more than just a place where people bought the coolest merch. Their motto was the home of horror, and they more than lived up to that. They were a place where fans could come to meet their idols, where new writers could launch a book and find their own fans, and where writers could join a group that would meet there and allow them to advance their craft. They became an integral part of Southern California's horror history, which extends back to the California sorcerers, Ray Bradbury, Richard Matheson, William F. Nolan, George Clayton Johnson, Charles Beaumont, through the era of splatterpunks with Clive Barker, David J. Scow, R.C. Matheson, John Skipp, and Craig Spector, and now into the future with a new generation of talented and diverse writers who benefited from being part of that extended Dark Delicacies family. I could go on and on about their other accomplishments too, about Dell's work as a horror journalist, or a writer whose work has been adapted to television, or an award-winning editor, or heck, we could even talk about the fact that Dell Howison has played Renfield more than any other actor in history. That's true. But I can't think of any better reason to recognize Sue and Dell than to say that when future horror scholars talk about the last 30 years of horror's West Coast history, they'll probably call it the dark delicacies era. Sue couldn't be with us in person tonight, but please join me now in welcoming my friend for half my life and one of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award winners, Dell Howison.
I don't think I have to say anything now, Lisa. You covered it pretty good. This won't take long, Brian. I have a short thing. In the beginning, God created. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Asked me for an article on the closing of the store. And at that time, I was kind of writing something up for this. So I lengthened it and gave her the article, and I shortened it for Brian. You're not getting out of this one, Brian. Dark Delicacies, the store, not the business, has closed. You know that by now, as it's been reported in dozens of articles, all bemoaning the demise of the horror book and gift store after 30 years of service. Bookstores open and close every week, so why all the press on this one? Because there's something different here, very different. Conceived, created, and operated by my wife, Sue, and myself. It was also a creation of the adage, if you can't find what you want, then make it. And that's exactly what we did. We like horror. Actually, we love horror. We always found horror books in a small section on the corner shelf of most bookstores, tucked away as if they were, as if they wanted to carry the books, but were afraid that maybe they would lose some customer base if the books were noticed. These books were there for the discerning individuals whose tastes ran contrary to popular tastes, but felt like there was no place for terror tales in the bright sunlight. In nonfiction, horror books, it felt like B books about B movies and not to be placed at eye level. Heaven help us, the children might see them. Stephen King had made the leap from horror side shelf to upfront best-selling list, and as such was acceptable to be reading. Poe was historical, so his collections were acceptable in the classics area. But the Corman movies based on those stories weren't to be taken seriously. They were drive-in fare, playing on a big outdoor screen while teenagers made out in their cars. Everybody was involved, but nobody wanted to talk about it. We needed to talk about it. Horror conventions were just beginning at that time. So we set up a small table at a comic book convention in between tables filled with classic comics and trading cards. It was in the banquet room of a Red Lion Inn, and we were the singular ray of darkness. After the day was over, we looked at each other and said, wow, there really are others with the same warped taste as us. Actually, it was not warped at all. As we were to discover, it was as mainstream as romance, only more in the shadows, and it just needed a little push to come out. That's a lot of what Dark Delicacies accomplished. From the folding table in a hotel to a store that operated out of 4 different locations during its lifespan, Dark Delicacies changed the face and perception of horror in Southern California, making it both acceptable and accessible. Sue designed the stores so they were not only inviting for the most hardcore fan, but safe and welcoming to the family with children to buy picture books. In the same store, there was everything from the Frankenstein cookie jars and Michael Meyer action figures side by side with Stranger Things and Casper. We wanted our definition of horror to be as broad as possible. This was the clubhouse for everybody who enjoyed their own small piece of darkness without judgment, only enjoyment. All of this was not pre-planned, but grew organically as the customers, the family, offered up suggestions and desires. Despite everything, times were difficult. When we opened the store at its first location in 1994, several people said to us, "Do you really think this is a good time to open a bookstore?" The answer was no. The answer is the same today, 30 years later. It's a difficult time for bookstores or any business. If we had been strictly a bookstore, even a genre bookstore, we would have been out of business within 5 years. Part of the secret of staying alive was variety, the widest possible stock variety, all horror related, and for all horror tastes. Sue was the person in charge of stock. She was the business, doing all of the purchases and arranging the decisive finishing acts that saved us from business failure and kept us alive all those years, the signings. Inspired by the late Los Angeles bookstore Dangerous Visions, we held signing events in the store. And not only was it a good way for an author to promote their book, but it also gave our fans reason to return to the store. Rarely will stock alone do that. As a small independent business, we needed every hook that we could find. From our first signing with Boris Karloff's daughter, Sarah, we tried to pull in horror people that fans might never get to meet. Authors like Ray Bradbury, Tananarive Due, Richard Matheson, Barbara Hambly, Clive Barker, Nancy Holder, and Joe R. Lansdale graced our store with their presence. Filmmakers galore, including Guillermo del Toro, Mary Lambert, Joe Dante, Jackie Kong, and Mick Garris, showed up to meet the fans, many of them multiple times. Actors from around the world, such as Paul Naschy, Adrienne Barbeau, Doug Jones, Linda Blair, James Hong, and Ernest Borgnine. The list seems almost endless as we averaged a signing every weekend for 30 years. Most of the signings would have several people greeting the fans. There were occasions that we would hold 2 different signings, one after the other in a store, because it was the only time that they could arrange it. We even had a sword swallower at one point. We spent 30 years of meeting the coolest people in horror, the nicest people in the world, people who were in love with the genre, just as we were. It is an era that has not so much ended, but evolved, and you are all part of that evolution. But it was not without bittersweet memories. I cannot say that there is not a hole in my heart that will remain, not being filled by the daily interaction with those people. I miss it already, and I know that Sue does. There's more to come. Dark Delicacies is not dead. Only the brick and mortar store has closed. We will be around doing conventions, online, and special events. I will keep writing my books, such as What Fresh Hell Is This? And The Survival of Margaret Thomas, and stories in anthologies and magazines. I hope you keep buying them. Sue has her hands in a variety of things. And although she did mention to me that she would like to sleep for 2 months once the store was closed, we will probably keep working in horror until we drop. I hope that Dark Delicacies has meant for you what it has meant for us. From all the feedback we've received about the store closing, it seems that it has. One day, I will faceplant in the middle of some horror event, and it'll all stop. Just roll me onto my side, put me under a table so no one trips in the aisle. But I hope there is a smile on my face, because as sad as the whole store closing is, know that it was fun. It was all fun. Thank you.
Yeah, Dill, we have a haunted house for you. We just can't figure out which one it is. These things all look alike. Okay. I shouldn't have snarked off to Rob about my name tag being up here because now it's gone, which means one of y'all presenters or winners took it with you. I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying after this, you can drop it off in the principal's office with no questions asked. Here to present the other Lifetime Achievement Awards is the Lifetime Achievement Award Committee Chair, Kevin Wetmore. Tim Wagoner. We had over 75 nominations this year, and it was really challenging. The next recipient is Dame Susan Hill, an English author of short and long fiction who has helped transform the British ghost story, perhaps best known for her novel, The Woman in Black, which has been adapted multiple times for the screen, as well as into the longest running show in the West End. She's also written other novels, such as The Man in the Mirror, a ghost story, I'm the King of the Castle, The Man in the Picture, a ghost story, The Small Hand, a ghost story, Dolly, a ghost story, The Traveling Bag and Other Ghostly Stories, not to mention a whole host of short stories, plays, radio dramas, and children's books, including the collected ghost stories of Susan Hill. For her many contributions to horror fiction and drama and radio, the committee has awarded her the Lifetime Achievement Award. Here to accept the award on her behalf is Lifetime Achievement Award Committee Chair Kevin Wetmore. And on behalf, give it up for Dame Susan Hill. She could not be here, but extends her thanks, and we'll be in touch with the award. Our final recipient is David Cronenberg. Yeah, give it up for David Cronenberg. David Cronenberg is a Canadian filmmaker who has been chilling us for decades, a principal originator of the body horror genre, with his films depicting body transformation, disease, and the intertwining of the psychological, physical, and technological in films such as Shivers, Rabid, The Brood, Videodrome, as well as more recent films, as well as more mainstream films such as The Dead Zone, The Fly, Dead Ringers. And in the 21st century, he's given us horror-infused films such as A History of Violence, Eastern Promises, Crimes of the Future. In 2014, he was named a member of the Order of Ontario for being Canada's most celebrated internationally acclaimed filmmaker. And certainly horror cinema would not be the same without his many, many contributions, an honor of which the Lifetime Achievement Award Committee has named him as one of the recipients of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Yeah, give it up for David.
President's Award for our president, Angela Eureka Smith, who could not be with us tonight. But she did send her regards and she wrote something, so Brian doesn't have to worry about me ad-libbing. Hello, Halloween people. You are the brightest and the best, and I miss all of you intensely. I wish I could be here with you in person tonight, but I'm so grateful to have Leela speaking for me. It's an honor to recognize someone whose words, presence, and quiet leadership have shaped this moment in time for all of us. I'm here through her voice to celebrate my dear friend and fellow poet, Maxwell I. Gold, with the President's Award. Maxwell has been instrumental at a pivotal time in the evolution of the Horror Writers Association. As our community grows, so does the weight of the work we do, not just on the page, but in how we support each other, create space, and lead with intention. Maxwell has done that with integrity and with heart. It is his work behind the scenes in helping the HWA transition from a smaller organization to a broader, more inclusive space that I want to highlight tonight. He shows up consistently, thoughtfully, and with a vision that lifts others. This award is for the quiet scaffolding he's helped build beneath our shared structure so we could all climb a little higher, write a little louder, and stand a little prouder together. Now, more than ever, we need to be loud and proud. Maxwell, I see you. We see you. And I hope this award reminds you of the many ways you've made this community better. Congratulations.
Oh, I don't like to feel like this. Okay. Thank you. I want to start by saying thank you to everybody who's here in this room, because without all of you, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have anything to do. I also want to say thank you to my dear friend Angela Eureka Smith, who I know she is out there because she is moderating our chat right now, so I know she is watching. I started with the HWA as a volunteer on the board as treasurer in 2021. And I wanted to give back to a community that gave back and still continues to give back to me and continues to be so kind and rewarding to me, both as a writer and a member of the HWA. You know, when I transitioned to this role as executive director, the work didn't change. Well, much. It changed a lot. There was a lot to do. And there still is a lot to do. So the work changed, but the purpose, the passion, and the reason I continued to do the work only grew and only became more important. Because, and I've said this before, that we are the only organization of our kind. There's only one Horror Writers Association. There's only one organization dedicated to horror writers, and there only ever will be. And I say this a lot, even if it sounds cliche, but I really do love the Horror Writers Association for the reasons that I just mentioned, and that there really is no other group like us out there. One of our guests of honor at the opening ceremonies made a comment about how we are a community, how we are a family, and that is true now more than ever. I love everything about this community, what it means, what this genre represents. And I made a little quote here, whether I was going to make a joke about it, but it's not really a joke. People say, you don't really have a dream job. It's hard to find a dream job. But for me, this is in a lot of ways like a dream job. Apart from, I'm a writer, but I also get to work with my friends and colleagues every day. So, I mean, that is in a lot of ways like a dream. I want to thank the board, and again, I want to thank my dear friend Angela for this honor. And again, I want to thank every single volunteer, every single writer. I want to thank all of you. This means a great deal. So thank you so very much.
Coming to the stage to present the Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in Long Fiction, Ai Jiang and Alma Katsu.
At least we're not too different in height, so okay. First of all, it's such an honor and a privilege to be here with I to present the Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in Long Fiction.
Long fiction has always, for me, straddled the beautiful liminal space between short fiction and novel. And this year's nominees have effortlessly pushed the boundaries of both form and content. And I'm excited for the stories to come.
Okay, the nominees are Sophia Ajram, Coup de Grace, Titan Books. Ooh, I'm supposed to warn you, right? They still have those snipers, don't forget. Nat Cassidy. Nat Cassidy, Rest Stop, Shortwave Publishing. Clay McLeod Chapman, Kill Your Darlings, Bad Hand Books. Eric LaRocca, All the Parts of You That Won't Easily Burn, The Skin Was Once Mine and Other Disturbances, Titan Books. And Eden Royce, Hollow Tongue, Raw Dog Screaming Press.
Struggling. And the winner for the superior achievement in long fiction is Sophia Adram, Coup de Grace, Titan Books.
One second, I'm like shaking. Thank you so much. Okay, you don't know how much this means to me. I quickly want to thank Daniel Carpenter, my editor, incredible. Took a big leap on something very experimental. Chris McAllister, Len, my partner, the love of my life, my mom, all of the other nominees. It is an honor to be in this category with you folks. Just a completely stacked category with amazing work. I can't wait to see what everyone is doing next. Thank you to my writer friends, Sapphire, my nervous drivers, Cassandra Kaw, anyone who generously took the time to blurb and talk about this very weird book. Daniel Kraus, Kathy Koja, Ai Jiang, Josh Mallerman, Gemma Armour, Paul Tremblay, Haley Piper, Adam Cesar, Sina Palayo, Clay, Nat Cassidy, Becky Spratford, thank you so much for lifting up the horror genre and new people who are coming into the space. This is a book about loneliness and alienation. It is a story about a man who wants to take his own life. It is a dark and experimental work, and at its core, it is about love and hope and choice. It is a fierce choice to wake up and choose to live every day. We're overwhelmed and under duress. Despair is a powerful force right now, and we live in spite of this. We try, we have to try, we create, and that nurtures not just ourselves, but others. Reading and writing, I honestly believe, is life-saving work. I want everyone to create fearlessly and uplift the most vulnerable. And as I believe the first trans man in this category, I wanted to say, it's not DEI, it's just good. Thank you.
To present the final Bram Stoker Award of the evening for outstanding achievement in a novel are past President John Edward Lawson and guest of honor Joyce Carol Oates.
Okay. Well, it is an honor to be here tonight with you to present the final category for the Bram Stoker Awards, the Superior Achievement in a Novel. Our nominees this evening are Gabino Iglesias, House of Bone and Rain, Mulholland Press.
Stephen Graham Jones, I Was a Teenage Slasher, Simon & Schuster, Saga Press.
Gwendolyn Keist, The Haunting of Velkwood, Simon & Schuster, Saga Press.
Josh Mallerman, Incidents Around the House, Del Rey.
And Paul Tremblay, Horror Movie, William Morrow. And the recipient of Superior Achievement in a Novel is
Gwendolyn Chris.
Are you sure you read it right? Because, like, I'm sitting over there, like, I'm just waiting to see where StokerCon is next year. There's been rumors, folks. There's been rumors. So, wow, I was not expecting to come back up here. I was way more nervous about presenting the first award. I'm like, I'm going to get somebody's name wrong. This is going to be terrible. I'm like, I'm done. I don't have to go back up on that stage. And now, yeah, how did this exactly happen? All of you, you're all to blame. You did this to me. You gave me this award. What is wrong with you? Okay, so I don't have like a speech. I know, Brian, you're gonna be mad at me. I know. So now, like, I come here every year and I present at the Anne Radcliffe conference, and I'm like, I'm talking about bisexuality now. Like, I am bi, and I am loud, and I am proud, and that is. And I don't think if it wasn't for all of you in this room being so supportive of the queer community that I could have done that. And this is really all about all of you. And this has meant so much to me, like more than, as much as the award is great, all of you and your support has meant so much more. So thank you so much for that. Thank you to everyone who read the book. I do want to say two things. I'm going to do this. I was the only woman in the category this year, and that was a very, very hard thing. I felt a lot of pressure. As you're reading this year, all I'm going to ask is just keep reading books, novels, especially by women. It's the category that, like, we get usually the most money, so it's the most likely way we can make careers out of this. Read books by women when you're doing the recommendations on the recommended reading list. Think about women. Be here to support us. And one other thing I'm going to say. On the preliminary ballot, there were 10 of us. There was only one small press book. Now, I'm standing up here with the Big Five book. I'm not knocking the Big Five, not going to do that. That's not good for any of us, right? But here's the thing. Small press is our lifeblood. They're the ones that when we lost our sections in a lot of bookstores, they were still standing by us. And I don't want to see that lost. You know, keep supporting the small presses. They have been here for us since all through this. Even when, do you all remember when we were all just supposed to call horror thriller or dark fantasy to try to get it published? Like when the horror became such a dirty word, small press was like, this is still horror, folks. And they stood with us. So keep reading small press books. I'd love to see more small press books in this category. I don't have a book next year, so I'm not asking anybody to give me another award. You guys don't ever have to do this again. I shouldn't stand up here and say this. I really, really appreciate this at this point. So keep reading books by women, keep reading books by queer people, keep reading books by writers of color, and keep reading small press books. We're in this together. We're going to get through this. I really believe that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations to all the winners, and thank you to all the presenters. We're not done yet, folks. One more thing. We need to talk about StokerCon 2026. I would like to call to the stage James Chambers, Brian Matthews. This is what it says here. You're looking at me like I'm speaking Dutch. Am I not supposed to be doing this now? Yeah. Benjamin Rubin, and local organizers John Opelenik, BC Bull, and Logan Johnson. Please come up, tell us about this year and next year.
Hey everyone, who's having a great time tonight? Yeah! Yeah. I'm Logan, and it's been such an amazing night. Don't even know what to say. It's been such a joy and honor and a privilege to serve as your StokerCon 2025 co-chairs. We're really here with a message of gratitude. So thank you to everyone at the HWA for trusting us with this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Thank you to all our incredible guests of honor, panelists, and volunteers. We invite the volunteers in the room to please stand up because we'd love to give you a round of applause. And thank you to every person who's joined us, both in person and virtually. We celebrate you too, because none of this would be possible without you. If one person leaves StokerCon feeling more energized about reading and writing horror, more seen, and more connected to their people, that is one of the greatest gifts we could receive as con-chairs. We'd also like to give a special thank you to the StokerCon Governing Committee co-chairs for all your guidance and kindness. This was our first StokerCon, and we're grateful that you helped us find our sea legs and welcomed us into this community. The energy in this room is like nothing that I've ever personally experienced before. It feels like courage, it feels like belonging, and it feels like hope. Let's all hold on to this feeling. And as Kevin so beautifully put it, let's use it to keep fighting monsters. Thank you. Now, B and John, what would you like to add?
Hi, everybody. I just was thinking in that moment where we had all of the volunteers stand up and applaud them, and it felt like there were so many more of you, and it got me thinking about how much the community here put this event together, and this event is a celebration of the community that we all share. So in a way, I felt like when it said every volunteer stand up, I almost felt like every person in this room could be part of that. So can we all give ourselves a hand? So I'm so happy to have been here to celebrate this community, to be part of it, and to use this community to do good. Michelle?
So again, thank you to everyone that's here and all the support and love that we received. And I know I've mentioned it a few times throughout the weekend. Thank you so much for welcoming us, for welcoming me into the community, and just all the love that we've been given and the expertise and the sharing of things that we've experienced this weekend. It's, again, once in a lifetime. I can't even speak. But I have to thank you again for making me cry 3 or 4 times during this, because that's a rare event. Someone should have gotten that on film. Unless an animal dies in a movie or it's a Disney film, it's a rare occasion. So thank you for all the emotions. But as many people have said tonight, please support people in the community, not just for the writing, but just in general. You know, look to someone else, be a mentor for someone else. Everyone is really going through a tough time. And as writers, we have a lot of outlets for it, but many people don't. So I think it's really good to acknowledge that and just love people and go back to a sense of family and community that we had many years ago that we've lost somewhere along the way. So I just want to say, just again, spread the love, spread the encouragement, and help your fellow writers. Thank you. And I'm going to call up Brian and Jim now. Are you coming up now? And Max. Okay. And Beth. Drop the mic.
See, now I touched it last, so if it falls, it's on me.
We'll both take the blame. We're
Yeah.
a team.
I'm really not as mean as they make me out to be.
Never going to live that one down. No, you're not. Yes, so yes, thank you again to our Connecticut crew. This has been fantastic. But it is time to now look ahead to 2026. Normally, everybody who comes up here is from the same chapter, maybe lives in the same region. So we're hoping to keep you on your toes because none of us even live in the same state. So bear with me just a minute as I draw out the suspense. So 2026 will be StokerCon 10. Now, this is the part of the franchise. We go to space. It's expensive, so we're going to stay on Earth and deal with the horrors here. But it'll be a time for us to reflect on StokerCon, where it came from, what we've done throughout the years, and where it can go into the future. And thinking of the future too, 2027 will actually mark 40 years of the HWA. Right? So we'd like to take a page from the past and to the years before StokerCon existed, and we'll actually be in the same place for 2 years. This will actually give us a little bit of stability in the planning process so that we can consider to think about new ways that we can develop StokerCon. It'll also control costs, not a small thing. So we're very excited to announce that we will be taking StokerCon to the place that is dedicated to preserving the history of the genre and our organization, and welcome you back to Pittsburgh. So I'm very excited and honored to welcome you back to the city that I call home. Please look for more announcements as we come up with new ways that StokerCon may unfold. We will be there at the Westin Hotel from June 4th to 7th. For next year, figure out the dates for 2027, which I didn't remember. And as we wrap up, we would like to announce some of our guests of honor as well as a special registration code. So first guest of honor we'd like to announce is the goddess of the HWA, Linda D. Addison.
I want to go last.
Our second guest of honor to announce for 2026 is John Shirley.
And our third guest of honor, I have the pleasure of announcing, will be Anne Vandermeer. With the red- And real quick, so from this week, the Eventbrite will go live tonight for thank you, for the Stamford special. So with the special for this week only, for the early bird Stamford special, whatever we're going to call it, there will be a special commemorative item. We don't know what that will be, but there will be a special commemorative 10-year item with that registration only.
Tonight, right? It opens tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah, it opens tonight, right? Okay, thank you. Tonight at midnight. What? No, the hotel link will not be up. We're going to wait a little bit of time for everybody to get home so everybody has the same fair chance to get a hotel room. And I'm going to announce the fourth guest of honor, Billy Martin. So the four of us make up now what's called the StokerCon Governing Committee. So we're going to be at the little top of what's going on, and we're going to be kind of monitoring and working through the programming of StokerCon in the next at least 2 years, obviously. And that now at 10:35, I was close, finishes the Bram Stoker Awards. We have the after party in the Garden Pavilion. We will have food. We have a sweet table and a slider table, Philly cheesesteak, and for you vegetarians, we have a portobello sliders, and the bar will be open till 1 a.m. Thank you, everybody, and good night.